the formation out. I think we're just waiting for someone to load in. All right, here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we're underway for the second time this evening for the Monaco Grand Prix. It looks as though Czech has got a better start, but JH has got an even better one already past Czech. He's done it even earlier this time through into P2 as he's now following Dylan up the hill. We've got a car off at the back. That looks as though it's ABR Bowen round or
they were so close to making
the
it
exit
through.
of Sandoval, but it is Dylan from JH who's done it again to get past Czech, and it looks as though Bennett now has gotten past Brindy as well. So Bennett up into P4. Great start from him, a driver that's really been known this season to get some brilliant starts. It looks as though Riggsy's just tapped the back of someone there into the hairpin.
Big contact.
As of course the car's all going extremely slowly through there. I don't think anyone quite got the braking point right on the first lap, as you've got to brake extremely early. But it is Dylan then in the lead from JH, and now it's really Dylan and JH action stations for the pair of them. Can they pull away from Czech on the mediums? Liam gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, so I wonder if he's just overtaking someone there. I thought it might have
got messy at the hairpin, to be fair. So, Liam got damage, I'm sure, because I saw that with Morgan. But on the whole, it's been a pretty clean first lap. No one out yet. Sem and Bunny both moving up.
Riggsy in the pits, James.
Yeah,
so he obviously did get some considerable damage there at the Lowe's hairpin.
He was at the inside, sort of on that concretey, tarmacy bit, and looked like he had a bit of an incident with someone. I believe it might have been Van Dorn. It's a double stack at Renault, so Bowen's chances are all but gone unless there's a safety car, which is unfortunate for him and the Renault team, really, who are looking to try and mount a charge towards Mercedes in the joint constructors. But it's still Dylan who leads from JH, and Czech, who seems to just about be keeping touch with them. Bennett just behind, and the two Williams. Clock in P7, Jib Jab and McEwen, and it is Bland in P10, rounding out the top 10. Van Dorn, quite a big gap actually. There's a few gaps already starting to emerge. Sem on his softs has had a really good start now, 5 places, obviously capitalising on a few guys in the pits. But either way, that decision to go to the softs from the start seems to have paid off quite nicely for him. And Bunny on the hards as well, up 3. He's going to be looking to extend as long as possible. That'll be a hards to softs without any sort of collision for him. And as I say that, he does tap the wall a little bit, but it looks like he's got away with it, as Czech already showing his pace rate with the fastest lap.
Yeah, JH actually looking slightly faster than Dylan at the moment in these opening exchanges. He's only a few tenths off the back of the Mercedes and seemingly looking for a way through already is JH. So I wonder if perhaps the Red Bull drivers opted for a slightly more race orientated setup.
I mean, Brindy says he's forgot his step as well, but he doesn't look too slow at all, to be honest. And he can take the hairpin pretty nicely from what I saw there. So yeah, hopefully for his sake it's not affecting him too much. And the one thing, of course, with 5-6 wings, maybe that's what he's running, I can guess. He'll be really quick in a straight line, won't he? So probably giving himself the best chance of an overtake. As I think we're just...
we've got yellow flags.
That's Morgan round at the hairpin. Probably just clip that inside
wall.
wall.
JH there as well. Jam tapping the wall at Raskas.
Sem's round
nearly
as well.
sending his Red Bull round, but not quite.
Sem's missing an end plate.
Yeah, Sem had lost a position to Bunny just a few moments ago.
So such a good start for the McLaren driver, but yeah, all gone to pot, unfortunately for him. Liam in the pits now as well. Actually, a big gap emerging between Brindy in 5th and Colin in 6th. So yeah, the top 5 already sort of stretching their legs to the rest of the pack. Yeah, it's just gonna be difficult to overtake, isn't it? I think the most overtakes we're going to see is either
we've got Gunnar and Morgan, sorry James, going side by side through Casino. Morgan's got wing damage and missing a front left end plate. Gunnar trying to go round the outside at Mirabeau. Morgan squeezes in there. Very close to a collision that was, but they just about got away unscathed.
And I was just
Gunnar,
about to...
credit to him for trying, but not
just about to say the only overtakes we're going to get is when people pit, but yeah, clearly Gunnar is at least attempting to try and get one done on the track.
Yeah, just looking at the front jam, I don't know whether JH has pulled some time. Well, he must have done because he's just at the fastest lap. I was going to say, or Czech's made a mistake, but Czech is nearly out of DRS to the front two, and JH again right on the back of Dylan. After I said that the last time, he then dropped off a bit, but he seemingly, when I'm not paying attention to JH, driving a bit faster or something, I don't know. Bennett has now dropped quite a way off of the Ferrari as well.
Bland is literally pushing McEwen. No, Bland's literally pushing McEwen round at the moment for P9, but it's the Haas driver who remains there at the moment. Although, if any position is going to change anytime soon, I should think it probably be this one. Taz is right in there as well on the mediums. Of course, he failed to get through to Q3 on the mediums, unlike some of the other guys.
Bit of a Haas sandwich then for Bland at the moment. As Van Dorn has actually caught up to the back of these guys, as both McEwen and Bland there just tapping the wall through to back. Doesn't look as though either got any significant damage, that being a missing end plate or something. And I've just completely jinxed Van Dorn as he's in the wall at the swimming pool. I don't know entirely what's happened there, but it looks as though it was a fairly hefty collision. He's not got any significant damage though, it has to be said, and now Taz having a little look at Bland there down into Sander Vot, but nothing doing this time round. And again, JH then dropping slightly off the back of Dylan. So I expect that gap to probably come down again now that I'm not on board with him.
Penalty for
Czech. Yeah, already as Czech gets a penalty, that could be big later on. And Clock's also got a penalty that we hadn't noticed there. But already the gap's starting to form quite considerably, it has to be said. Rixie seems to have actually made up a decent amount of ground after pitting so early on. So he's obviously not got terrible pace as Rixie, but unfortunately just that damage on the first lap seemingly holding him back somewhat. It's line of stern then for these three in the battle for P9, although Bland getting extremely close to the back of McEwen through there. Perhaps picking up a warning through the Novell chicane, as it looks as though he was slightly liberal with the track extension there.
The tyre situation is already starting to come towards Czech. He had dropped out of the DRS of Dylan and JH, but comfortably within the 1 second.
Oh, we've got to move, sorry James. We've got to
now.
move. Taz trying it round the outside into Sandoval. Bland squeezes him into the wall, and Taz has lost an end plate. It looked as though Taz was alongside and Bland just squeezed him into the wall there. And there's now a VSC as a result, or ABR Bowen has retired.
That's out of the tunnel.
Out of the tunnel, but I think...
Or it might have been with Morgan, actually.
I think Taz will have a few choice words for Bland with that one. It looked as though he just put him right into the wall, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
Taz was alongside and he just got given the squeeze.
I'm not
something
that,
which I nearly... well, in fact, something which I have been accustomed to in the racing around Monaco myself, so there you go.
Yeah, I haven't caught that incident at all, but what I can guess is there was an incident before the drive through there, but no, it's just something more penalty. But yeah, I saw Morgan going slowly out of the chicane, and Bowen was. It was a weird place for him to crash, judging by the mini map. Obviously, it's kind of quite hard to tell, but it looks like it was just out of the tunnel, and yeah, unfortunately, his car had gone by the time that the leaders got there. So yeah, couldn't quite see sort of what had happened, but yeah, Bowen, unfortunately, not the ideal debut for him, but I mean, it's Monaco, isn't it? It's not really a representative track for anyone. As yeah, getting pretty tight again for the lead. Obviously, that penalty for Czech could come back to bite him, but yeah, at the moment, definitely. more than comfortably sticking with the two guys in front. Rando was second ago after the ERS of the
yeah,
top
I
three.
just skimmed through it.
It was looking good for Dylan, wasn't it?
Similar point, aren't they? They're all a fairly similar point. I think Dylan perhaps just saving a bit of his battery up, hence the gaps have all closed a little bit
I think
back
that BSC
up.
might have altered it as well, because Dylan had about 20% more than Czech and about 10% more than JH, but obviously they're all able to save beyond the VSC, so it's not as big now.
We've got a safety car. We've got a safety car. Morgan's out. He's lost it out of Anthony Nogues. Full course safety car. And in fact, we should see everyone coming into the pits now. I was just going to ask you, James, if you had been Dylan or JH and the VSC had been out, then would you have pitted?
No.
But now the safety car comes out. Czech stays out on the mediums. I
Yeah,
thought he might.
He's got
So
to.
Czech's going to take track position. Dylan is onto the hards, as is JH. Dylan, Czech and Brindy both staying out on the mediums. Where's Dylan going to come out? Because if Dylan comes out... Well, Dylan's
They're all
come out
pitting.
third. So
Dylan's coming out
worked
net
out.
P3.
That's worked out really, really nicely for Dylan.
This
Bennett
is the
and Connor and Clock all going for mediums. Bland as well for mediums. We've got a few of the guys who were starting on the mediums, so they'll have to go to the hards anyway. But this has really helped the likes of Riggsy as well, James. Brought him right back into play now as he's pitting again, so probably to make his final stop of the race. But yeah, it's really brought the likes of Riggsy and Preds back into play, as well as like Liam and Sem, who are all lagging at the back after damage and incidents and whatnot. It's kind of just completely neutralised the race. So it is Czech from Brindy, although they've got Dylan in third, so they've perhaps not gained as much as they maybe thought they would. Hindsight's obviously going to be a brilliant thing in 30 laps time, and we'll know whether it was the right decision or not. But obviously Czech wasn't going to win the race, most likely sitting in third behind JH and Dylan. So just trying something different here as a Ferrari driver in the hope that it will come back to him later on.
Yeah, to be honest, I like that call from Czech. He's now obviously, as you say, got the track position. He can probably just pull away on those medium tyres. I mean, he was keeping up with the top two quite easily. So yeah, if he can pull, I don't know, if he can get like a 10-second gap by the time he pits and come out in clean air, he could still catch him, and then, or even like a nicely timed safety car in one way or another could see him retake the lead. But yeah, I think this is going to be the case throughout the whole weekend, really, isn't it? If there's a safety car around lap 8, lap 9, you're gonna the guys in the softs have to pit because those softs just won't last any longer. But
Yeah.
then it's a case of what tyres you go on to, because obviously the hards are going to last comfortably till the end. The mediums do last to the end. They don't wear too badly, but it's just the sort of degradation. You lose grip and
yeah.
So, but that's the thing. You can't get past anyway. So it might just be worth going on to the hards because you'll be quick towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
But
well, the hards are pretty slow at first, though, James. So I guess maybe some of these guys that started on the softs that had the choice between the hards and the mediums, perhaps just felt that the mediums, you know, if on the off chance they can make an overtake on the restart, the mediums will allow them to do so. But it's going to be really difficult.
To be honest, with
overtake.
With Czech being in the Ferrari as well, he would have just been held in the pits by guys coming in. So I like that call from him to stay out. He can extend now on those mediums that will
Well, yeah, but
last easily another 20 laps if he wants to. But
well, yeah, but his mediums are 9 laps old, James. Now he's probably going to go to around lap 28, 29 if he's going to go onto the softs, that is. So it's really going to be whether in, you know, the next sort of 15 to 20 laps, is Czech going to be able to pull away enough to maybe not necessarily come out ahead of Dylan, but to come out near him still, because obviously he was a net P3. It's going to be obviously hard to tell, because if there's any safety car now, between now and, you know, 20 laps time, or almost 20 laps time, it's going to completely screw Czech and Brindy over. Now, obviously, like I say, hindsight will be great. We'll be able to really analyse it and see whether it will work or not. But
this is
I
why
mean,
for me.
check on 10 lap old mediums now. Sorry, James. Just to add, I mean, they're not going to be amazing already. I mean, they'll still be decent. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's not like they're going to be brilliant now. And they're only obviously going to be getting worse as they progress, whereas Dylan's tyres will be getting better and better as the race goes.
Yeah, but I mean, 10 laps into their life cycle, they're still going to be better than those hards. And this is a thing for me, though. I mean, yes, Czech has the better tyres. I'm going to completely contradict sort of what I've been saying here, but this is why I'd always start on the softs, because now Dylan's net race leads still. He's in third on track.
Pit stop ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that in the next, I don't know, 17, 18 laps, there's no way Czech's pulling a pit stop gap.
Well, who knows? You never know, mate. I was going to say, Czech could stick with them on the mediums when they were on the softs. So
yeah, but
really
as his tyres go
off,
off, Dylan's hard to just get better. And Dylan obviously has the pace. I mean, he got pole position, so...
Yeah, okay, then here we go. It looks
and
like
you can't overtake anyway,
early,
so...
And he's nearly losing the car out of Anthony Nogues. And it looks as though he's kind of caught a few guys off guard there. Connor's already dropped quite a way off the back of Bennett, and there's a gap between Bunny and Jib Jab. Bunny started on the hards and is actually yet to pit, I do believe, but he's up into P9. And already Dylan and JH have dropped off the back of Brindy and Czech Jam.
Yeah, Dylan just got it all wrong out of Anthony Nogues. He just put the power on way too early, and lack of grip on those cold, hard tyres just, dropped off the back completely. It's going to be a bit of a struggle for a few laps for him and JH on those cold, hards. They're going to take a while to get up to temperature, get some wear into them.
By Bennett,
they're being pressured
by Bennett and Connor from behind.
And yeah, exactly.
Bennett was really pushing JH there through the hairpin, and it looks, well, it's going to be an extremely frustrating time, quite possibly in these next few laps for Bennett, if he can't find a way past JH and he's sticking right with him. But already Brindy Boy and Czech's already got 3 seconds, nearly 3.5 seconds to Dylan. Pit stop around 20 seconds or so. So that kind of gives you an estimation of the gap that Czech needs to pull. It's obviously going to be an extremely considerable margin.
If he
but
comes
he's already 4 seconds ahead.
If he comes out in any sort of traffic, he's not going to win the race. Unless Dylan gets damaged.
These guys are all spread out.
If Dylan keeps it out of the walls for the next 16 to 17 laps, there's no way Czech's going to beat him. He just won't be able to get past, even with a tyre advantage.
Yeah. Well, these guys are all spread out now anyway.
Yeah.
You'd suspect, at least, as we see Bland and McEwen battling it out, as Bland now has the inside line into those hairpin, trying to outbrake one another without hitting the back of the AlphaTauri. McEwen just tapping the wall there.
That's close.
Still going side by side, but Bland gets the moves done. That's a great move from the McLaren driver.
About as clean as it can be, isn't it?
It's defensive work, it has to be said. So yeah, getting the move done then up into P11 is Bland, and we've also got Taz and Liam seemingly battling it out. Looks as though Taz has gotten past Liam down into the chicane as well. Yeah, Czech now 4 seconds out ahead. He needs probably about a second a lap. Doesn't
he was three attempts quicker than Dylan that lap.
Yeah, so like you say, I think unless Dylan gets any kind of damage, I guess a VSC could help, but it's like you say, it's going to have to be a considerable amount of time that Czech will need to gain, as Sem is in the wall. Anthony knows he's lost an M plate at least. So the safety car that really gave Sem a lifeline, kind of in vain, you would have to say. VSC comes out. That's our third safety car in one way or another, I do believe, this evening. So nothing really much happening with this one. The race obviously just getting neutralised. In theory, no one will gain anything and no one will lose anything, but that's never actually the case. There'll always be a little bit of time gained or lost. So it's a rather short one there. We're back underway already. It came in at a pretty favourable time for Czech, as he was down a little bit of a straight, that run down to back, whereas Dylan was just going into the Novel chicane, so he had no margin for error there in the braking zone, did Dylan. And it looks as though that's actually benefited Czech. He's gained the gap now up to around about 5 seconds it is for Czech. So it's still chipping away, trying to extend that gap. And Dylan now really being pressured by JH, who for spells at times in that first stint did seem faster than Dylan, but it really was kind of swings and roundabouts with that one. It seems as though every time JH gained a bit of time, he then dropped off, and every time Dylan gained a bit of time, he then came back into the clutch of JH. So again, when it's so difficult to overtake, as JH nearly there losing the car at Mirabeau, just clipping the inside wall, as it's so difficult to overtake, it kind of really doesn't matter as such. As Sem's now back in the pits, going on to... What's he going on to? Mediums by the looks of things.
Yeah,
It's
looks
old
like
mediums, I think. Although at this point, it probably doesn't really matter too much for him. If you look in that midfield region there, on the left-hand side of your screen, there's well, from Connor downwards,
Bland's
Connor
making
to
all the moves.
Liam. Connor to Liam, there's only a couple of drivers there without a time penalty, so that could have an effect later on in the race. As you say, Bland making moves. He's now up into P10 past Van Dorn. We didn't get that one.
We're missing the
on
only
the
overtakes
stream.
here. Bland's making them
We are.
all
Maybe
as
we
well.
should just... Yeah, maybe we should just stick with Bland for a bit, as Bunny's really slow through the final few corners, and maybe this will give Bland another opportunity at an overtake then down into Sander Fott. We'll go on board with the McLaren driver. He's got the silly throttle glitch, so we won't stay on board with him for too long. Not going to be close enough this time. Anyway, Bunny on 90% of his battery.
I'd fancy him down into the hairpin.
Generally pretty good at saving his batteries. Now Taz has gone past Guna, so we wonder if Guna's made a bit of a mistake on the exit at Sander Fott there, but Taz... Good move by the looks of things. We kind of caught the end of it there as they went up Beaurivage. Taz into 13th. And he's just completely messed it up though. Locked up into Mirabone. He's hit the wall. Lost a bit of wing, I think. No safety car as a result.
I'd go back to Bland if I was you, Harry.
Taz. That's unlucky there for the Haas driver. We'll go to Bland. Apologies to everyone's ears, so we'll go off board with him. As he's gonna perhaps look down into the...
Oh my god.
That is silly. That is so silly. What on earth was that? There was just never a move on there. Complete roll of the dice. Chucks one up the inside, and Liam's Van Dorn, has gotten damage as a result. So Van Dorn's been cocked up by Bland's reckless driving there. And he's now holding up the Haas with the final sector. What on earth was that? There was never a move on there from Bland. Maybe he can hear us, maybe he's getting a bit giddy and thinking he can pull off all these moves, but it wasn't to be there. There's now Riggsy pressuring the back of Liam. I can't believe Bunny didn't get any sort of damage or anything from that one. Kind of got away with it. Nothing wrong really that Bunny did there, as there was, like I say, never a move on. Yeah, pretty careless, it has to be said, from Plan there. I mean, I tend to not like it going in on drivers too much, but well, I don't think there's much of an excuse for that one, as there really is now, James, a bit of a train forming behind Dylan. JH, in fact, really close to him, 2 tenths off him. I thought JH might throw one up the inside into the chicane there. That would have been a slightly more warranted move, you might say, but he didn't. So JH obviously thinking about it a bit more, thinking about the long run, 22 laps still, 23 laps still left in this race, as Riggsy's now got a penalty as well. He was one of the drivers that hadn't picked one up yet, and so that's a little bit of a shame for Riggsy, because that could have helped him later on in the race, although, well, there's still a long way to go as Liam gets another one himself. But yeah, James, JH really pushing Dylan, and Dylan's not got the pace. He's nearly 9 seconds off Czech. So actually, you were slightly pessimistic about Czech's chances, but it looks as though it's kind of working for him at the moment, as we've got Liam and Riggsy both into the pit, so I wonder if they picked up some damage along the way there. But yeah, just an update on Dylan, James. Now 9 seconds off of the lead.
Yeah, I still can't see it working though, to be honest. Call me pessimistic or whatever, but no, I still can't see it working. At this rate, Czech's coming out around where Bunny is, so he's got to run another 10 seconds in the next 10 laps really to come out in about net P3, P4, and even then I still can't see him winning the race, especially when he's got a penalty and the other guys don't. The main problem for JH as well is his exits just aren't as good as Dylan's. He just doesn't get the power on us as well out of the corners to mount a challenge down the straight. So I think as long as Dylan keeps his car intact, JH just isn't going to be able to find a way past unless he can improve his exits. But yeah, I don't really.
Hang on. We got Klopp right on the back of Connor. I was just looking for any sort of battles going on, and of course, Taz gets past Preds as soon as I go off of him. But yeah, I saw Klopp really reeling in Connor, and I thought he might go for a move there, as it was a similar position to the one that he managed to get past Nicky in last season, but it wasn't meant to be. Of course, these guys, really from Bennett to Jib Jab, really not been mentioned too much in this race. They've all seemingly just been kind of getting on with it in this train here, in what is, I suppose, the battle for P1 net, with Dylan leading, although Dylan now 10 seconds off of Czech. So as these laps tick on, it looks as though we're going to have a bit more of a race on our hands than perhaps we anticipated only a few laps ago. And so Taz was in the wall about 2 laps ago at Mirabeau, and is now making a few moves again. So he's obviously got some decent pace, has Taz. We've got McEwen pushing Van Dorn through the final few corners. Van Dorn there, as you can see, missing his front left end plate, so he is a little bit handicapped compared to McEwen. And McEwen's trying to throw one down the inside into Sandoval. I think Van Dorn tapped the wall on the exit there, and it's allowed McEwen to get through, and Guna's followed him as well. So Guna and McEwen, they're both getting past Van Dorn in one foul swoop, it has to be said. So yeah, Van Dorn, unfortunately, the big loser from Bland's dodgy dive bomb, losing an end plate as a result, and that's kind of really ruined Van Dorn's race, it has to be said, as Brindley Boy now gets a penalty jam. So again, Brindley Boy and Czech, their lives are still pretty difficult, with both of them now having penalties. The gap's still edging up ever so slightly, but it's kind of not as much as it needs to be now. It was going up a lot more. It's seemingly slowly coming towards Dylan as the tyres perhaps start to go off for Czech and Brindley Boy. As you see, their tyres 20 and 19, or 20 and 20 now laps old for them. Although Dylan's on 12 lap old hards. We have 12 laps since the safety car. God, this has flown by already.
To be honest, Harry,
18 laps left to go.
To be honest, I can't even see Czech getting on the podium here.
Not without a VSC or a safety car.
No, he needs some sort of safety car to do that. He's not gaining enough, and the tyres are gonna come back into play for Dylan and JH in a lap or so, as JH gets it all wrong out there.
Ooh, I thought Bennett was gonna throw one down the inside and then taps the back of JH there, and well, could Bennett have gone for it? I don't know. It's Monaco. You've got to kind of just go for it if you're going for a move. And Bennett may be missing a trick there, but obviously didn't want to throw his race away. He's in a pretty good position. Net P3 at the moment is Bennett, so there's no real need there to take any unnecessary risks. Smart driving, it has to be said, from the Alfa Romeo driver. Zajan wants the gap to the leader up, so we'll get that for you now, sir. Dylan then 11 seconds off of Czech at the moment, so again, it's still not quite enough. The only thing is, though, James, look at the gap between Dylan and Brindy. It's only a couple of seconds. Now, Czech's not going to be pitting for another 5-6 laps. If Dylan catches up to Brindy, and Czech's obviously faster than Brindy, so if Dylan catches up to Brindy, is Brindy going to inadvertently hold Dylan up, do you think? Which will, of course, play right into Czech's hands.
I'm still hating, Harry. I'm still on the hate train. I still, as I said a couple laps ago,
very open.
I think even if, I mean, to be fair, I think you've got to credit Brindy here. Without a setup, he's still holding his own. But yeah, Brindy's probably going to do well to get points here. But Czech, the highest I can see him finishing is 5th. I think that's the high. They might get held up a bit behind Brindy Boy, but overall Czech's tyres are going to be going off as well. So no, I still
Dylan
can't see him getting on the podium, let alone
nearly
maybe
within
top 5.
a second of Brindy Boy. But yeah, the gap out in front, it's still going up, but not as much as earlier. It's now just over 11 seconds.
It's just quite unfortunate for Czech, really, isn't it? Because he's driven a really good race, but unfortunately that decision in the end to start on the medium tyres, I think just isn't going to work for him, obviously through no fault of his own because of that safety car. But
I think Czech probably needs, around maybe 14-15 seconds, and then a BSC,
to be honest,
for him to have any chance. And then, as I say that, I think that's just a lapped car, letting some guys through. But yeah, I mean, I think Czech, that's what he needs. He needs 15 seconds in a VSC or a safety car, because I don't think he's going to get the 20 seconds. I'm still remaining relatively optimistic though, in the hope that we can get a fairly exciting finish.
I mean,
but
we
yeah,
might.
looks
I
like
might be
big
being a
mountain
bit.
to climb.
I might be being a bit pessimistic because the gap is increasing quite considerably to Jib Jab in P8. But to be honest, I might be sounding a bit silly to some people here, but as it stands, I think Czech's my driver of the day. I think he's doing everything he needs to do to win this race, but
He's not really done anything wrong.
no,
has
just
he?
because of that
Apart from picking up a
unfortunate
penalty,
look
you
with
might
the safety car, he's gonna get bitten for that.
Well, are we already seeing a bit of a crossover now between the hards and the mediums, James? Because if you look, Bennett has dropped slightly off the back of JH, nearly a second off. And it looks as though, it seems to me that the hards might actually be kind of coming into their own. Unfortunately for Dylan and JH, it's come at a time when they're now caught up to the back of Brindy Boy, who probably isn't pitting for the next 5 laps. So this is really Czech's chance. If Czech wants to do anything, he's got to go now, but he's on, look at that, 10% less than battery.
Yeah.
Dylan, 70%. So
I mean,
Dylan might even be in a position to overtake Brindy Boy if he gets close enough to the back of him.
Czech's got no ERS either, I've just noticed. He still needs about 10 seconds really in the next 5 or so laps to even get into the top 5. Yeah, I'm sticking by it. 5th is the highest I can see him getting.
Oh, big lock up there into the chicane from Van Dorn. He gets a time penalty, which is really unlucky for his troubles. But Taz, oh, we got a safety car. There we go.
There you go.
As easy as that.
GG for Czech.
Sems in the wall at Sandevot. As you can see there, big impact there. Losing his front left tyre is the McLaren driver. But a shame for Sem. Really undid all his hard work after quali at the start of the race, running up early. Other than that,
shame
I
for
feel like he
Dylan
was
as
on for
well.
a pretty nice result. Bunny in a brilliant position. In fact, McEwen, Bunny all pitting. Taz pitting as well. Taz, who had just gotten past Van Dorn and is now being held up by his teammate, is having a wing change.
Yeah.
So yeah, Van Dorn as well having his wing change. Bunny's actually in a nice position, as I say, now coming out on fresh softs after starting on the hards from the back of the grid. So you were right, Bunny is probably most likely now going to get some points.
My
my
prediction
mega
for
effort from him.
Czech's changed pretty quickly now as well. I can't see him coming. I can't see him coming anywhere apart from P1 now. That safety car's won him the race, hasn't it? Let's
There we
go.
go.
I mean,
that's all you need. Isn't
without
it?
a safety
kind of
car,
what we were saying.
without a safety car, he
That's
wasn't
all
going to
you
win the
need.
race. But
Well, we'll see, because it's really crunch time now. Is Czech going to come out in the lead or not?
I mean, he's done everything right, hasn't he? He got the slow stop at Ferrari because
He's had to stack because his teammate pitted.
Oh, no.
Oh no! Oh no! That's going to be it. He's not going to do it. I don't think
Dylan's
he would,
coming out
I
ahead.
don't think he would have done
Coming out
anyway.
ahead.
He wouldn't have done anyway. Let's be real.
It would have been tight, mate. It would have been tight. He got held a
Nah,
long
he's
time.
nowhere near, bro. He's nowhere near. I think we'll hand it to Czech. He would have come out ahead of Clock. So he's lost out of position to Clock. I think he was going to come out P4. But he's now 5th.
I reckon P4.
Fresh softs, but he has a time penalty. I don't think he was.
I mean, it sounds a bit silly, but P4 he might have had a chance, but I think 5th now, no. He's just not going to be able to get past, is he? Like, and with a penalty, of course, as well. I mean, towards the end of the race, those softs are going to be dead. I mean,
yeah, this is a bit interesting now, James. We've got Guna P7 on old hards, so he's really going to be the cork in the bottle, I feel. If Jib Jab and those behind him can't get past. Jib Jab's actually gained a position out of all of this somehow. I'm not entirely sure how they've managed.
I guess
that,
people.
These guys.
Oh, Connor will have been held in the pits, won't he?
Yes, that's the one. Connor's. So yeah, Jib Jab, sorry, hasn't gained a position, but he's gone past Connor.
We've got Absolute Legend asking why Czech is on soft. That is because Czech started the race on medium compound tyres and
hadn't pitted.
25 laps on them, and yeah, so the softs is the sort of logical choice for him now to the end of the race. The softest compound
should be able to go
course,
from here.
his name suggests. He'll have the most grip. He should be just about alright to make it to the end, and yeah, he'll probably be the fastest guy on track once we get back underway. But yeah, it's Monaco, isn't it? So we'll do well to get past anyone.
So Bland's a lap down, correct?
Yes,
Bland's
he
a
is.
lap down, and he's kind of in the middle of the train, so that's going to be a little bit awkward on the restart. Liam is the last of the drivers on the lead lap. He's currently P16 and nearly a whole lap down anyway.
Check holding his
but
box for 7 seconds, Harry. And that maybe lost him a couple of places.
positive signs for Liam is that he is still on the lead lap. So yeah, if Czech was held for 7 seconds, I'm still not entirely convinced he would have come out in the lead, but it would have been very close, as you say. He definitely lost a place to clock because of it. And who knows, if he'd come out like side by side with Dylan or JH or someone, it could have got a bit spicy. So he maybe missed out on that a little bit. And that's a real shame because it's, you know, you can't really blame Predators for it. Obviously, IRL, that wouldn't have been an issue because, you know, pit crews don't for some reason glitch out and go really slowly. Connor's got a penalty for hitting.
Yeah, Van Dorn's just hit the back of him.
Or Van Dorn's hit Connor.
And yeah, Bunny's got past Connor, hasn't he?
Yeah, but that's because Connor had a slow start.
Oh, I
mate.
thought Connor was ninth
I
anyway,
think
so
Bunny
that's
was
my
there
bad.
anyway.
That's on me, yeah. Yeah, Van Dorn just hit the back of him anyway, so that'll be removed for Connor.
Yeah, and Van Dorn will probably have a penalty coming his way then as a result. But yeah, hats off to Bunny then, starting last with a quali ban. Started on the hards.
No setup
he's
as well, apparently.
bided his time, patience. Now P9 on fresh softs. Does have a penalty, of course. I don't know how many. I can have a look, I suppose. He's got 3
leave it, mate.
seconds, so he's actually got slightly less than Jib Jab.
According to
so actually
Zydrad, Harry,
in a very
Bunny
nice
doesn't have a
position,
setup
it has
on.
to be said. And without a setup. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So we've got
yeah.
Brindley without a setup.
drivers
he's in
without setups,
P6,
yeah.
and we've got Bunny without a setup from the back of the grid in P9. I guess the one thing with all these different strategies, we've got the guys on the hards and the guys on the softs, the sort of biggest difference in tyres, of course, could make for a pretty exciting end to this race. If we're going to see any overtakes around Monaco, it will be in this sort of situation, of course, won't it? To be honest,
we've got
though,
Taz pitting, James,
I mean,
for some fresh soft. He was
might
on
as well.
medium, so he had pitted, I think, for old mediums, or slightly old mediums they were. He's now pitted for softs. Now, Taz is the only driver, apart from the top 3, without a time penalty. And now, if the race were to finish now, or at least when Taz gets back up to the pack, he'd probably gain about 10 positions. Obviously, I imagine that's going to be kind of unlikely, considering, as I say, Guna's almost certainly going to be a rather large cork in the bottle here on 19 lap old hards. If people can get past him, that would be great. You know, there's nothing wrong with Guna. He's not doing anything wrong staying out. Don't get me wrong, but obviously that will obviously hold
be
hold the
everyone's
guys
least
behind
favourite
him
driver,
up
isn't
somewhat. Yeah, but yeah, Taz in actually a rather nice position, which is a strange thing to say when he's P16 and actually last of the cars in this train. Obviously bar Bland, who needs to kind of get out of the way once this restart happens. But yeah, Taz could find himself actually nicking a point or two perhaps come the end of this race. But we have got now then, as they come to start the 29th lap, we will have 11 laps to go in this Monaco Grand Prix. It's going to be Dylan that leads the way. Bland has retired on track. Has he hit the wall or what?
Yeah, he's crashed, I think.
He's crashed, so a few guys got penalties because of that. But anyway, we're back underway. Dylan then, pretty good restart from him. And Bennett then has got clock on 20 up old mediums. Bennett as well on 20 up old mediums behind.
Check's
really going to be pushing now.
Massive corner cut.
He gets it done though.
If he did get an illegal
was it
overtake
worth
for
the
that,
warning,
then I
do you
don't know
think?
what you're getting an illegal overtake for, but it doesn't look like he has, so fair
Well, we've
play
got
to
Czech
Jib.
pushing clock. Look at the tyre advantage these guys on the softs have. It's ridiculous. Czech pushing clock. So Van Dorn not only hit Connor, he also got a penalty for hitting Bland and I think got some damage as well. So which is a shame for Van Dorn because, well, all again kind of like Sem earlier on. The safety car was in vain, and we've got Czech right on the back of clock. James.
Couple of taps of the rear of the Alpha there from Czech.
Clock got a pretty nice exit, it seems, down into the chicane. So nothing doing this time around. I feel like if Czech gets past Clock in the next couple of laps, he might have an outside chance. The thing is, though, he's got a penalty. So unless these guys ahead of him get penalties as well, Czech's got to make the moves and then pull the gap. And his tyres, I mean, will at the end, you know, the last 2-3 laps, they won't be in brilliant condition. Although having said that, I mean 30 lap old hards probably won't be brilliant either. But it is really now or never, I feel, for Czech to try and get past Clock. Look at the amount of speed he has, the amount of confidence on the brakes compared to the Alfa Romeo. As McEwen is having a look at Connor. McEwen on mediums compared to Connor on the softs, but that's not holding him back by the looks of things. Not quite going to be close enough this time, I don't think. And Bunny now trying to push to get past Kuna. Kuna, of course, still on those old hards, and I can't help but feel it's going to be a bit of an uphill task for Czech to get past Clock, as again Clock getting a very nice exit onto one of really only 2 possible overtaking spots on the track, down into the chicane at 48, and it looks as though for all Czech's might, he just can't find a way to get past the Alfa Romeo, which is really being as wide as possible. Clock defending for his life, you'd have to say, but is he going to have a look into Raskas? He kind of had a think about it, I think, but kind of realised that he was never going to get it done. And looks as though again Clock getting a nice exit out of Anthony knows. Clock's got a lot less battery than Czech. Czech could have a go down into Massenet. It's, yeah, oh,
maybe someone into Mirabeau here.
Oh, and he's nearly lost it on the traction out of Casino. That was a heart and mouth moment there for Czech. I'm
really surprised he hasn't thrown one at the inside at the hairpin there, because the last couple of laps he's looked way quicker in that section.
I mean, obviously he's pushing to try and, you know, get, oh, is he got there? He's obviously trying to push to try and get the win, but I can't help but feel maybe it's a bit smarter just, you know, consolidating this P5. It looks a bit closer to Clock this time, but again, he's just not close enough. You literally need to be right on the back of someone. He's taken a big corner cut there. That would have almost certainly been a warning at the chicane. I just can't see it happening, unfortunately.
No. But DRS here,
I really wish it was for the sake of the race.
He needs to do it soon as well, because otherwise that tyre advantage that he's got will just start to fade away.
Here we go, James. We might have a chance here, but Clock's got DRS. If Clock didn't have DRS here, we might have a chance. But no doing here is Czech. Is so much later on the brakes than Clock. It's ridiculous, but he just can't get it done. But he's going to have a look up the hill. Clock defending well, and he's going to have a look down the inside, is he? Has a think, but Clock defends well again. He gives Czech the room, but it's not enough to really go for the move. You know, it's kind of like he's leaving the door open, but it's literally only open enough for Czech to have his car in it, nothing else. And so it's like Czech's, you know, thinking better of it. I think he is kind of consolidating almost that he's not going to be able to get anything done. I mean, without Clock making a big mistake.
You can't just force a move, otherwise you're putting the other guy on the wall and just getting yourself a penalty. You've got to really have
and to Clock's credit, James, he is defending really well. He's putting his car in the exact right place. He's putting his car right in the middle of the track, and it just means he can't do anything about it. Someone who is losing time is Connor. 2.5 seconds, off the back of Bunny. Not got any damage, so I don't quite know what's up with him, but he's got a bit of a train forming behind him. And in fact, that consists of himself all the way down to Liam.
We're going to see a move here. So, there's contact on the exit of Sandervort. And now Bundy Boy with that straight line with the 6 wings is just going to capitalise on that. He was just waiting in the wings, licking his lips, and he's capitalised on that mistake from Czech.
Of course I've missed it all, and now I'm probably going to miss Taz going for a move on Preds. He was right behind him, but not quite able to get it done, but it looks as though he's going to have a go around the outside at Mirabeau, is he? No, Preds covers it off quite nicely there. Well, can Brindy Boy then do what Czech couldn't and get past the Alfa Romeo of Clock?
On speed,
the short answer is no. The long answer is he's got good straight line speed, but will have nothing in the corners, as you say, James. Sorry to spoil it for anyone, but kind of what Monaco's about, isn't it? It's
if he's how great it's going to be here, I reckon.
Sport is that you can't overtake at
Yeah, we go. He might
anywhere.
get one or a better exit. He might have done it 'cause he's that much quicker in a straight line.
The
Maybe
problem is
fancies
though,
his chances
Klopp's
up
still got the DRS,
for his
so
rise again.
like Klopp's not getting amazing exits. The last couple of laps he hasn't had amazing exits out of Anthony knows, but he's got the DRS. So as Taz now has gotten past Preds, and as Absolute Legend says in the chat, Taz could still gain a few positions.
Bunny past
Damn
Guna.
right he could, as Bunny is past Guna. So Bunny's found a way past at Casino Square. Rather impressive.
Great drive from the back of the
move
grid.
from Bunny. Yeah, great drive as you say. And now Bunny should be able to kind of push a little bit. But to be fair, to Guna's credit, he hasn't actually lost that much time to the leaders.
No, not at all.
Despite being on old hards.
Look at the ERS
The
of
leaders
the top
themselves
two
on old
though,
hards
Harry.
as well.
They both have pretty much full battery,
They're
which
cruising.
is insane. Yeah.
Cruising. There was never a race on anyway. They were just baiting us. I don't know what was going on. Brittany Boy is definitely eyeing up a move here on Clockers. There's a bit of a lock up there for the Alfa Romeo into Raskas, but again Bennett's just giving Clock DRS, and again
He's too eager on the
Brittany
exit.
Boy, bit of wheel spin, and he's got no ERS either. Is he going to have a go? He has a think about it, but there's just no room. Just no room. That's a good way to sum it up, I think.
Clock's got a lot more battery as well, so he's just able to defend when he hasn't got the DRS to do so.
Yeah, fair play to Klopp. Maybe just, you know, obviously
Masterclass in defending, really.
driver, yeah, as you say, experienced driver just knows that while he hasn't got the tyre advantage, if he can manage his battery, all he's got to do is get a half decent exit, it seems, and he's fine. And now it looks as though Brindy's slightly easing off a bit.
Ooh.
As we've got yellow flags, Van Dorn is out, but well, that's no offence to him.
Oh, safety car. I was going to say, I beg there's no safety car, but I think that's the last possible lap we could have had one. I guess now
4 laps to go.
Now that we've got a safety car, I guess it's a good time if you want to get the position changes up, Harry. If we can get some votes in for driver of the day.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't go too soon with the driver of the day if I can find where the position changes is. There we are, position changes. Well, Bunny up 11's the obvious standout one if you're looking at position changes. Obviously, penalties is still going to be a massive factor, and this helps Taz absolutely massively. The only driver outside of the top 3 without a time penalty, and with only probably 2 laps to go at most, you'd imagine, once the safety car comes in.
We've got Persis pitting for a new wing, might as well.
Does Preds have a penalty?
Yeah, I believe he does, although it doesn't look like he... I could have only got a corner pitting one earlier on, but he's in the pit, so that might be why it's not showing. But either way, he's pitted for a new wing and a fresh set of softs. Might as well, he might just about hold on to that position from Liam. No, he's going to lose it.
Nope.
So, yeah, maybe not ideal.
Yeah, Preds does have a pen.
Yeah, he does.
I could see Taz gaining half a dozen positions here, though, if he's lucky.
We're getting
I guess the only thing that's stopping him is the fact that Guna's still out there on his 25 odd lap old hard.
Baggy says Taz
27.
for driver of the day, so he's obviously predicting Taz to go up a few positions at the end, because I think if he was to finish the race in P13, being honest, it probably wouldn't be a drive whether he's driver of the day, but yeah, if he capitalises on the penalties of the guys in front, then it probably will be. Most of the votes, pretty much all the votes going to Bunny though, Harry. He's gone, of course, from P19 to P8 without a setup, so
very good drive from Bunny, definitely. I want to give a shout out to Bennett. Fairly quiet, we've not really mentioned him that much this evening, but he's in P3. Didn't have a setup on or something, had the wrong setup on, I don't know. 27 lap old mediums, he's in P3, no penalty. Brilliant drive from Bennett, it has to be said, from, was it 6th on the grid, I think? I'll just bring the positions up, it might have been 5th on the grid.
I can keeps
where
eyeing.
yeah, from 6th on the grid. Great drive from Bennett, it has to be said. Again, Mr. Consistent, you had to say, in this Division 1 season so far, and that's really what's got him in this top 5 in the championship, on for, I believe, his 2nd podium of the season. But yeah, great drive from Bennett, kind of gone unnoticed, really. Maybe hasn't had the credit he deserves. Hello, James. All right then. So James is going to join me, quite literally for the last couple of laps. So
I think this will be the last lap on the safety car, won't it?
should be. You'd like to imagine that the safety car will come in this lap, and we're going to have what two laps to go then. At the end of this race. Yeah, absolute legend St. Bennett gained a couple of positions, 2 or 3 off the start. Always good at starts. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bennett kind of known this season at least for having his lightning quick reflexes off the start and gaining a few positions. Of course, notably Zandvoort, he gained 3 or 4 off the start. So yeah, safety car in this lap. So it's really going to be a sprint finish here at Monaco. As how early is Dylan going to go? A driver that has had the lead now for the last 10 laps or so. Be cruel if it were taken away from him now. He leaves it rather late, but he gets a pretty nice run out, and Anthony knows it has to be said. And it looks as though Brindley Boy, is this going to be his chance to get clock?
Just too far back, isn't
No, taps the back of the Alpha, and again for good measure on the
hill,
exit. Can he get in?
He's going to be using all of that ERS.
Down the inside, into Massenet. Bit of contact between the pair of them. Forced his clock out wide, but he gets the move done. He got his muscles out there, did Brindley Boy. Wow. Just about getting the move done without not getting any damage. And to be honest, it's Monaco. I don't think you can have too many complaints about someone, getting their elbows out a little bit to get a move done.
Yeah, without being biased, obviously, because I'm a Williams driver. To be honest, it looked like Brindley Boy didn't really do much wrong there. Maybe a tiny bit of understeer, but
well, clock didn't get damaged.
No,
it's Monaco, so I don't think you can really.
It looked like clock maybe instigated the contact a little bit, but surely. Oh no, he got a penalty. I was going to say maybe a shot at a podium, but of course that penalty.
Taz gets a penalty. He might still gain a position or two, but Taz was on for possibly some really good points there. Perhaps not quite meant to be.
I think Brindley Boy might end up making a move for the final podium place here, but
he's got a really good exit compared to Bennett. He's going to have the inside line into Zandvoort. This might be the easiest move we see all evening, and he's got it done. Has Brindy. He's got 1 lap to pull 3 seconds to Bennett. I'd be very surprised if he did it, but it's a valiant effort from Brindy Boy to get up to a net P3. He's got damage out front. Was that Dylan Jam?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looked like a black sort of end plate, so that must be from the Mercedes.
Yeah,
although it might be JH.
No, I thought Dylan's missing the front left.
So, is it both of them?
No, it is. It's JH. Sorry,
JH closed up. So yeah, that was a bit deceiving. Yeah, Brindley Boy's not going to do it, is he? Bennett can cruise round just to make sure he doesn't cut any of these corners, and yeah, he's got.
Yeah, JH just needs to take it carefully now. There's no point risking anything. He should have P2 in the bag. I hate to see him crash out this late on, but it looks as though that has given Dylan the breathing room. Put it on pole position, and he's going to take victory in Monaco. It's redemption for Dylan after a disappointing last 2 races. He wins the Monaco Grand Prix from JH. Brindley Boy comes home P3, but it is going to be Bennett in the end. A valiant effort from Brindley Boy. In fact, Clock comes home 5th with Czechsit. Guna is 7th, Jibs out 8th, Bunny 9th, Riggsy in P10, running out the points. Of course, this is all provisional, but Dylan then regaining the championship lead. His teammate Silly Bunny driver of the day, and it is a win in the Principality for SLR Dylan.
Yeah, great drive from Dylan, you've got to say. Led it off the start, did everything right really in the race, always was there or thereabouts, and yeah, just kept that gap on the hards as close as it could have been. He did as well as he could have done on those tyres to make sure that when Czech pitted, he came out ahead and then never looked back from there. He had constant pressure from behind from JH for the whole race, and never faltered with that. So yeah, great drive from him. Obviously his teammate Bunny looks like he's going to take driver of the day as well with another fantastic drive. So yeah, good day for Mercedes in Division 1 once again. And yeah, credit to all 3 of the drivers on the podium really. Bennett had a very good race as well, so did JH, and yeah, to get a podium around Monaco is no easy feat. So yeah, well done to all of them.
Yeah, definitely, and hopefully we'll be able to get them into the party in a few moments. But here we go then. Your provisional results are SLR Dylan with the win from JH. So it's an America 1-2, but I say that somewhat sarcastically, as of course Dylan is Dutch. But Bennett P3 there, good result from him. Brindy Boy recovers to 4th, so nice job there from Brindy. Clock comes home 5th after starting P7 with a 5-place grid penalty. So yeah, good effort as well from Clock. Check. Unfortunate, I'd say, to come home in 6th in the end. Probably drove a better race than that. Guna on the old hard compound tyres, finishing P7 from 12th on the grid. So good effort there from Guna. Jibjab comes home 8th with Bunny 9th. And Riggsy rounds out the points. Like I say, of course, these all provisional. Connor with 20. Was it 20?
It was
15 or 10
11,
or something.
13, something like that.
Yeah, Connor with a lot of penalties. I think the general consensus is he might be able to get them taken off. But I'll get the top 3 in the party and I'll hand it over to James to conduct the podium interviews.
Yeah, actually, one thing as well to note, I saw a message from Riggs before the race saying that he started on the softs because he felt it was going to be more than a one-stop race, and it certainly was. Yeah, I should think, though, a couple drivers probably gaining positions from those post-race penalties. And, yep, just bear with us as we try and get the top 3 in the party.
I can't for the life of me remember who was on the podium. Oh, that's slightly concerning.
It was Dylan, Bennett, and JH.
JH, Jesus. I'm having a senior moment. There we are, JH. Right then, I'll hand you the headset, James. Go on.
Alrighty. Are they all in the party?
I think so.
I'm going to put this the other way around.
Let's just quickly check.
Right.
Bennett, JH. I think Dylan should.
Yeah, Dylan joined second. Anyway, we can get underway with Bennett in 3rd place. Can't quite remember where he started on the grid. I believe it was 5th, but
P6, I
either
believe.
way. Oh, P6.
Yeah.
Well, that's even more impressive than to end up on the podium from Monaco. Yeah, just talk us through your race, really. Obviously, defending from Clock sort of at the end, and then just trying to keep the gap to the guys in front in case they got penalties or whatever. But yeah, 3rd place at Monaco. So just talk through your race.
Yeah, I'm really happy, to be honest, because during qualifying I have been quick all week, and then somehow when we did the actual qualifying today, I didn't put a setup on, so I absolutely ruined myself with any chance of being anywhere up there. So then obviously I've qualified P8, I think, but Clock had to go back 5, and Sem got a 5-second penalty. Or no, not 5-second penalty, sorry, he started from the back after readying up. So I started P6, and then I got a very good start. I think I went straight to P4. I went around the outside, I think I got a good launch, and then after that it was just try and make the tyres last when I pitted, because I was very surprised that Czech and Brindy stayed out, although I guess on the mediums it was worth the risk, but unfortunately obviously didn't pay off. But yeah, I'm very happy with a P3.
Yeah, well done to you. 3rd place from Monaco, a very good drive as well at that. Obviously gaining positions, which is quite a rarity around here, and getting yourself right into the championship fight with another podium. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, we will move swiftly on to your 2nd place driver. That is of course JH. You started in 3rd, got Czech off the start. It was a pretty good start from yourself. Did what you needed to do really to get past the Czech on the mediums, and then looked as though at times you were maybe a little quicker than Dylan, but yeah, obviously so difficult to overtake around Monaco. But yeah, either way, I'm sure you're pretty chuffed to come home 2nd. So yeah, just talk us through your race then.
First, I owe Czech something. He kept it really clean at first corner. Very hard to do, so good on him. I'm overjoyed with 2nd place. I think I have 2 points this season so far. So I finally got my form back that I had last season, and yeah, great job to Dylan. I think I had the pace, but he just consistent, didn't make any mistakes, did a great job, and yeah, and great job to Bennett as well.
Well, yeah, hopefully this is a bit of a sort of resurgence for you this season. As you say, only a couple of points to your name, but yeah, hopefully you can build on this performance now and get yourself sort of back up into the top 10 in the championship and just go from there for the rest of the season.
Sure. I sure hope so. Bring Red Bull up there on the points.
All right, then we will move on to today's race winner, SLR Dylan. Well, you put it on pole and then led in the early stages, pitted behind the safety car as most people did, and then just bided your time and waited to regain the lead. And once you did, you never looked back. Yeah, pole, race win, job well done, you've got to say.
Fair play to JH. He kept me under pressure the whole race, so fair play to him first. And to Barrett as well, qualifying without the setup on. Fucking hell. Yeah, sick race, honestly. I think JH would have overtaken me if it wasn't for Monaco, probably. And I think, was it Czech? Yeah, Czech would have overtaken me in the safety car phase, but he got held up by Predators, I think. But anyway, bit of luck on my side, I guess. This one is for Badger, Honey Badger. They took him away from us. Win that freaking race for him. USA flag, number 56. Great race, honestly, great race.
Yeah, well done. Obviously, winning around Monaco, no easy feat, and taking back the championship lead, of course, with Sem retiring. So, yeah, hopefully more to come.
Lovely. Pretty much.
Yeah, just doing what you need to do, I guess, capitalising on weaker tracks for your rivals. So, yeah, I guess your main aim must still be to win this championship.
Yeah, definitely. I was happy that Czech was only 5 thousandths behind me on the qualifying. It's good to see everyone up there, and I want everyone to fight at the strongest. So you have a great battle in Division 1 this year.
All right, then we will finish off then here. I'm not sure if you want to round it off, Harry. I'm not sure.
Yeah, congratulations, of course, not only to the top 3, but to everyone that finished, because it's no mean feat finishing a race round Monaco. But yeah, that is all we've got time for this evening. Of course, be sure to join us throughout the rest of the weekend for the various other divisions. And it's Baku next week, another street circuit, another track with some notoriously difficult corners. So that will be kicking off that weekend with the F2 on Thursday, and then of course all the usual divisions throughout the rest of the weekend. But yeah, as I say, that is all we've got time for this evening. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I'd like to thank James for joining me in the commentary box as always, and good night.